Welcome to the Super Clinic Project Podcast, Coach's Corner Edition. Ready to boost your practice by 10,000 in just 10 minutes? Join your coaches, Jennifer and Tracy, for fast and proven strategies that drive real results. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Super Clinic Project Podcast, where we take regular clinic owners and we turn them into super clinic owners. Today is Coach's Corner. You're here with me, Jennifer Gligoric, and fellow coach and business consultant, Tracey Sundkvist, who's also our resident neuroscience expert. And we're going to help you add 10,000 in your business within 10 minutes. So strap up. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make your marketing strategy practical. And so one of the first things that we think about is having this great document, and then we want to shove it into a little, shove it in our desk and file it. However, that's not really going to make you $10,000. It's not going to be very practical. So how do you make that practical? Tracy, what are one of the first things you think about when you talk about making a strategy practical?
When it comes to making a strategy practical, for me, it really is about two things. The first is understanding where you are right now and where this strategy is supposed to get you, and then applying the tracking so that you can see that you're getting closer or further from achieving that. So if right now you in your clinic, you're earning $10,000 and you want to apply this new strategy so that you can add more value, so that you can charge more money, you need to be able to track what is it that you're doing differently and what impact is that having on your results? So tracking, I'm always going to say it's about the tracking.
Yes,
measure twice, cut once.
That's it. And if you go to our free school, if you go to superclinicproject.com and go to our free school, SKOOL, we have the link, first link, then we actually have created an entire spreadsheet that we go over on exactly what to track. Now, you have many things you've got to track in your business, how many people, buy this new product and how many consistent return patients or clients that we get. However, this tracking is specifically for those of you who want to grow your business and grow new customers. And we tell you exactly what to do on that. So just go to our school and you can pick this up. I would say absolutely with the tracking, because this ties directly into being able to get everybody on board. You have to know what you're tracking. For example, if you ask somebody, well, what do you really want to do, communicate with your business, or you look at their strategy, let's say one of the things is we want people to know that, we want our customers to love us. That's great. How do you track that? How do you know if they're loving you more? Well, they give us lots of reviews. Okay, so let's start tracking that. When you track that, we can put things into place and say, okay, we got 5 5-star reviews last month. This next month, we want 7. So let's ask them. Let's put in a little card and hand them the little card or QR code that we post up. And we say, hey, click that and please give us a 5-star review. Then you can track it more. You can do it by referrals. So people refer people to us. That's how we know that they love us. That's awesome. We know by our bank account. More money. Yes, money is good. We're in business. It's practical, right? Track it by money. There are many different ways you can track if people love you, right? So no matter what value it is that you want to have happen in your business, then, that's what you need to track.
Yeah, Jennifer, when you speak about making marketing strategy practical, what comes to mind so often for me is when we bring clients on board, and what you can see very clearly right in the early days is very often they're either focused on money or they focused on value. And really what this is about is it's about combining those two things. Money is great. We're having this conversation because this is a business. It's not an NGO. It's not a nonprofit thing. It's not a charitable, thing. It's about being able to make money sustainably, profitably, because the more money you make and the better you get at making money, the healthier the business is going to be, the more impact you can achieve. But very often there's this, it's almost like a fight between, but we need to make a difference. And it's all about, changing the world. And then on the other hand, but it's about, making $1 million, billion, $1 trillion. But really it's about a blend between these two things.
Yeah, there is a happy medium, right? So when you're conveying this and making a marketing strategy practical, it has to be a living document. You want to refer back to it and say, hey guys, remember when I said here at our paint store that we want to put color into the world, right? That is a value we have. We want to make the world more colorful. right? So how do we do that? You remember when I told you we want to get the patients of San Diego out of pain so they can live their best life, right? That is a value. That is what I want you to say to people. If your staff are not leading with that, then they're not actual evangelists and you have not conveyed your marketing strategy. So most people, when they're at work, that is the majority of their like waking hours. And in many people's case, it's where they spend the bulk of their focused time. The rest of it is split from different family and different, activities they have. So if one of your staff is out there and they say, what do you do? Oh, I work for a chiropractor. Oh, I work for a paint store. That is the wrong answer. You want to say, oh, I put color into the world. I make the world a more colorful place. I help the people of San Diego be pain-free so they can live the lives of what they want. When
you ask that person, how do you do that? You need to be able to rattle off. Now, when you come in, we greet you by name. We offer you refreshment. We're not going to be speaking to each other at the front desk talking about the last 7 people in a bad way. Like, can you believe that fatty that just, come on, right?
Yeah. You want to be real. Your promise, the promise. That's when you give them the promise. So for a store would say, well, we have this revolutionary 3-step, restore and revitalize program that helps restore your health and that. And we do it without drugs and surgery. And we do it within 3 months. Okay. That would be a promise, right? For a chiropractor. If it's a paint store, we're the only paint store in San Francisco that has long lasting 50-year paint that is non-toxic. And we have every color imaginable. We're also the only paint store that has Panta Black or something. Or there's this one paint that repels water, so it's anti-urine, and it'll splash back on.
Because we need that, right? We need more anti-urine paint in the world.
In San Francisco, you do, ma'am. Unless you've been there, no. But yeah, so imagine the difference if staff really understood what the purpose and promise was. But well, you're like, oh, that's great. That sounds great. But how's this going to make 10,000, right? Well, imagine if your staff, and when you're talking to them and you say, hey, remember that patient came in, we kind of ignored him and we were busy in a meeting because we forgot to have someone staff it. And she just sat out there for 30 minutes during our meeting. How is that bringing color to anything? And then we heard that they left. We heard the door and they left the store, or they were just sitting out there in the waiting room. Is that really us living our thing? No, it's not. Okay, so what are we going to put in place to do that? You're always able to tie back to your core goals, your core values when you have them set in this strategy. That's what I'm talking about, a living document. You put those things into place so you can take people down this journey so they can really experience your business the way you want them to experience. Also, too, they're going to be more willing to go to the end goal because they really feel you're the one to get them there. You're the one that's going to get them out of pain. You're the one that's going to refresh their face by 10 years with and make them look natural and beautiful. Or you're the one that they want to have paint on their house because they trust it really will last, for a decade or more, right? So that's how it all ties in, how you treat people. At the end of the day, if you are not consistent, you're not going to get consistent money and consistent results. And you stay consistent by tracking it, the data.
Absolutely. I think even to take that just a little bit further is to understand what it is that you're tracking. What story is that telling you? So it's all very fine and well to say, well, yeah, we get 10 new patients every single week that sign up. But that isn't telling the full story, right? So in order to tell the full story, it's out of what? How much are you spending? How much are they committing to upfront? There's nuance involved here. And the more detailed you can make that story, the stronger your story can be. Because now all of a sudden, because you've got detail in it, you can start to see what are the things that I need to focus on so that I can do even better in this space. Because I know, if I know that having a relationship with the client or the customers coming in, I know who they are. I know why they're here. There's no unnecessary paperwork. Things happen flawlessly. They don't have to wait. There's no, long waiting hours where they have to sit there for 30 minutes for a 5-minute adjustment. As soon as you start understanding how all of those things lead you to that end goal, then it makes it so much easier to make sure that everybody is doing the right things at the right time, rather than just hoping like hell that if you're just nice and you work hard, things are going to come right for you.
Yeah, you want everyone on your staff to understand where they plug into the process and how they can give that 5-star experience. Whether it's, oh, here I have to go do all the filing. Well, once I do all the filing, I'm able to quickly get their information and deliver a better service more seamlessly to them. They don't have to wait. That's how the filing person gets it. Not that we have filing people anymore.
I remember those days.
Yeah, but it is. You're organized, whatever it is. Like I need to be able to do these stats early in the morning before anyone gets in so we can have this data. There's a reason that you're asking people to do what you ask them to do in exchange for money in that contractual employee-employer, relationship. And the more that they can plug into that process and possibly even bonus off of that process, the more you're going to get more engaged, incredible staff. Do you have anything to add before we go? We're at the end of 10 minutes.
Nope. I love talking about this because it gets me so excited about making the world of work, the world of business, something that is engaging and exciting and creative rather than just a job. So,
yep. So remember, you're going to track, and then you are going to make that marketing strategy a living document that ties into your true values so that you can really punch up all of your different funnels. You guys have a great day. This has been Super Clinic Project. Just go to superclinicproject.com. And if you want to work with Tracey and I, remember we do one-on-ones. We have an accelerator program, lots of fun stuff. If you'd like to even get a free session and find out how we can help you, or if you have a particular challenge you just want some outside the box thinking with, then go ahead and go to superclinicproject.com, see our pictures, click on it, and we're going to have a nice chat. You have a great day and a wonderful week.
Thank you for listening to the Super Clinic Project podcast, Coach's Corner Edition. If you would like to work with Jennifer or Tracey to 2 or 10x your business, then go to superclinicproject.com and click on either Jennifer or Tracey's photograph to book a complimentary session. Your greatest breakthrough is just a session away.